last thing I expected was a look at Eternals to come this early, but lo and behold,
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
So you, as the foremost Eternals expert on the internet, because you've read
don't put that pressure on me.
You've read all 6 issues they're in, Mitch, so I trust your confidence on this. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like Eternals because they showed us nothing. You got maybe 2 shots of I assume that's Steenie using a superpower with the sword. I assume that's how they're taking it. I can't remember her doing that in the comics. You get Makari or Makari. I think it's Makari, especially Mercury. Like, she's running, and that's about the only Eternals things you get in the trailer. Everything else is just plain clothes.
Yep.
That you get a proper look at every other time they're in the suits. It's all sunset and silhouetted, so you can't actually see crap. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a Chloe Zhao movie. After seeing Nomadland, you're like, yeah, I know exactly who did these.
That was the first thing that hit me. I was like, this looks like a Chloe Zhao movie.
It looks nuts.
And the thing with it is, I don't know, some people might take this negatively, but I don't mean it to be. It looks, again, don't take this negatively, people, a little flat compared to what I pictured Eternals would look like. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, I see what they're going for, but I don't see, like, if I Google Marvel's Eternals and I look at it, and knowing what the comics have looked like, and then I look at this, I go,
they're all this bright, colourful, popping, typical Kirby style, and this is very much like the sunset.
Yep.
Not grayed out look, but there's definitely some kind of low light levels going on there. There's no, the only real colour you get in this shot is a bit of Cersei's sleeve, and then the it's not the Ishtar gates, is it? Or is it the gates of Babylon? It's one of the two.
Yeah, it looks
I don't know where I just pulled Ishtar. I think that's from an anime or like Full Metal. It's just completely come out. But yeah, the Gates of Babylon. That's the only real color you get in this.
Right, because we see the Gates of Babylon and we see like the gold and blue on it, which clearly that goes with Icarus because that's his suit. So it's like there's something here that I think they should have held back on, and I think it's all of it. I think Eternals showing just this did what they could have showed a disservice, if that makes sense. Like, I think that
I get what you mean.
Like, it should have been a full teaser, because I saw a lot of people being like, what the hell is this? Are these even
it's thrown in there so quickly, and it's the least amount of footage in that. I think it's like, what the hell was that? It's like, what the Eternals? Like, cool, I guess. Yeah, they didn't really give a taste of what exactly they are and what their deal is, but we'll find out soon. I only take this as as confirmation that we're going to get a teaser relatively soon. But
one would have to assume with Black Widow, right? Like, you'd have to assume, but then again, I mean, who knows? They're clearly, Disney's now just playing at the tune of their own, whatever the hell they want to do, because they're not following any pattern with reason anymore. So, like,
I mean, Christ, they're moving everything around like a month out. So who cares about dates anymore?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
dates are constantly fluid; they're never solid anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this, and I've seen a lot of like people online being like, "I'm interested. Eternals looks like a thing." It's I think this footage would have been far better received and maybe sell it a little bit more had we gotten one money shot in this. Like,
yeah.
Like,
they needed something Eternals-y.
Yeah. Like,
just like the shot of Makari running, and that was about it. But that's literally the end of her running because she stops.
They needed that shot where people could freeze frame it and set it as their banner on Facebook, and they needed that one shot, and they didn't have it, unfortunately. Whether it was a shot of all of them standing there, like looking straight at the camera.
Part of me thinks that's intentional, I think that was intentional because it's more like, look how different this movie's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be the intention of it after Zhao getting director and best movie. And then...
Oh, this is definitely why they put this footage in there, just to be able to have something associated with her.
Yeah, it looks like Nomadland. It's shot exactly the same way.
Yeah,
it's just like wow. Like never. I know people are taking the piss out of Feige, being like, "This comes out of a camera." It's like, yes, Feige, that's the outside world. It's real. It's not CGI. It's like, it's not what he means, and you know it.
Feige at this point just lives in a Matrix version of the MCU, and he just comes out and like, "This is what happened. Write this down. Write this down." Oh, okay.
It would not surprise me if everything's a simulation. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Yeah, it definitely. I think it was just purely to show how different it's going to look.
Yeah. I see that. But look, when we know more, probably in the next couple weeks, we'll talk more about it. There's got to be some pieces of interviews and things that are going to hit soon. So when they do,
because the movie's done.
Yeah, they're like doing basic touch-up post-production, and that cameraman in the shot that everybody's flipping out over, that's clearly them doing a documentary during that time.
Kingo is an actor.
Yeah.
Kumail Nanjiani's character is an actor. He's a well, at least in the movie, he's a Bollywood actor.
Yep.
It's clearly someone following him around.
Yep.
It's not a mistake.
No, it is not.
Relaxed. Because you see the same guy in different shots with a camera. Not a big one, but a little one. So it's like, he's being followed.
And I do want to point this out as somebody that's obviously like worked on film and still talks to people who go to film school and do some pretty big productions. The camera he's using in that shot, you would not use to shoot Eternals with. Trust me. Like the mass amount of audience knows what a Hollywood, and I put that in quotation marks, camera looks like. So use that to simply.
Yeah.
It is not a shot that's going to be changed around, and it doesn't make sense.
Is it an over the shoulder camera? Cool, people think that's what movies are made with. Use that.
Exactly. It's like, bro, come on, like what? No, like
then you get the real behind the scenes shot, and it's all on a rig and like the little wheelie tracks, and it's just like, oh, that's the real camera.
They're using one of the red cameras. This thing has like 6 people operating it just to do one shot. Come on, not over the shoulder. I'm shooting my cousin's wedding. Like what? Oh,
maybe if it's a Netflix movie, you'd get that, but that wasn't an intentional jab at anything, by the way. I just kind of that made me click. I was like, oh no, I just did.
Want to know a true story? Netflix was forced to spend more than they could in the last 2 years because when they upgraded their streams to be 4K, the law said, well, you're not shooting in 4K, you're just upscaling. So to not get punished and have to pay huge amounts of fees and illegal stuff, they shoot all their actual shows on 4K now or higher just to prove that they can, which makes them use more money on render farms, which is why seasons now take longer.
Is that why The Irregulars got cancelled like 3 days after it came out?
Pretty much.
It's just like, we can't afford this, goodbye.
The amount of rendering, and I was talking to somebody who's worked on something, he was like, bro, it takes longer to render sometimes a basic Netflix scene than it does like a action MCU scene. I'm like, bro.
Christ, there's no way. There's not.
I could only imagine. But hey, that's Netflix for lying to you. So there you go. You'll learn something here about film, kids.
I enjoyed you, Netflix. See RIP in the next 3 years.